Hey guys, Andy here for another Learn English 232 lesson. Thanks for coming back. Okay, so today you're probably thinking with the title, is this guy serious? Can you really learn English in 5 minutes? I forget if I said per day or not on the title, but it's 5 minutes a day, and I'm honestly not kidding here, so you got to hear me out. Some of the tips are going to seem simple, but there's a lot of psychology behind those. So I've been doing a lot of thinking about this and research. And the other thing I should mention, to be honest, is I've seen a lot of people do this kind of thing and succeed. And most people don't because it seems too easy and they forget about it and they get into the wrong mentality, the wrong way of thinking, and they just sort of forget to do it. So follow the tips closely and write in the comments too how you've done after a few days, especially after 30 days, if you could follow it, and then how things have improved. So we're going to jump into the first slide here and talk about that. All right, so first tip here, and you don't want to laugh about this because I'm serious about it, but it's to get a notebook. That's a physical notebook and a pen, and that's a pretty simple tip, but you don't want to put everything on your phone or computer because that's easy to get lost, or you won't lose it maybe, but you'll forget about it because there's so much stuff on there. It won't be right in your face every day. So I want something like a notebook that you can put on your desk and you can see it every day and you won't forget about it because it's there, but you have to make sure that it's out, it's in a clean environment, and the notebook is there and you don't lose it. But that's the first tip, and I think that's a pretty easy one to follow. So if you can do that, you're on your way to 5 minutes. Learning English in 5 minutes. All right, the second slide is this is the meat and potatoes. This is the most important part of this, but they're all important. And that is to figure out something that you actually learned in that day. And it shouldn't be that difficult to learn something new, because you can just read a new article, watch one of our videos, and look for something that you don't know, figure it out, and then it's something that you do know. So you got to pick one or two things. Don't go crazy and pick more. You'll forget, and it becomes overwhelming. It becomes something that seems too stressful. So I'm trying to keep this simple and something that will actually work and pay dividends over time, meaning you're going to really notice a benefit over time. So find out something new that you learned, 1 to 2 new things, and write them down. Put the date in the notebook, like today is, December 18th, 2020, whatever it is, put the date and 1 to 2 things that you learned that you can say out loud and write down. And the key is they have to be new. So something that you didn't know yesterday that now you know today, that's a new thing. Because it's so easy when we're learning English to do it passively, meaning you're watching videos, you're reading stuff, and you understand most of it, you understand the general idea, but at the end of all of it, you could spend a couple hours, and if someone said, "What did you actually learn today?" you might not remember anything, or you might say something, and the person will say, "So you didn't know that yesterday?" Well, I kind of knew that. So that's the point. You have to figure out something. You have to look for something new and write it down and say it out loud and try to actually learn it, so it goes to a part of your brain that you can access, that you won't just forget about it. It's somewhere that you can actually learn and use, and you'll grow from this over time. So in the first couple of days, your English won't maybe improve noticeably that much, but if you do it every single day, after a month or two, which is not really that long, and it's certainly not that much time per day, you'll start to notice a big improvement. Like right, I know more words, and I'm watching a movie, and that was one of the words I learned maybe a week ago, and oh yeah, that I learned just yesterday. And you'll start to realize how much more you've learned without spending much time. But you have to do it every day. That's the key. No skipping a day. And on to the next slide here is you have to do it every day. And preferably, that means you'd hope that it's at the same time every day. That's not necessary, absolutely, but it's helpful because then it helps you get into the habit. You'll know when to think to do it, and it helps you not make an excuse. You'll sort of know when you're supposed to do it. If possible, do it at the same time. Another thing is you want to don't get too excited in the beginning and do 3 hours today and 4 hours tomorrow when you're really motivated, you have a lot of energy to do this, and you think I can do more than that, don't worry. The problem is then you'll burn out. So you'll do it for a while, and then at some point you'll just get frustrated and you'll stop doing it. And that's when your English level, no matter what it is, if you can understand the video today, it's already pretty good. But what happens with non-native speakers is that their English goes up, and at some point it plateaus. It kind of goes on a flat line and doesn't get any better for years because it's good enough, but they're not pushing it. So this gives you a way to push it without wasting a bunch of time. Just pick new things that are actually new. Don't cheat on that part, and then it'll be great. And because it's easy, but it's hard at the same time, that's how we get onto the last slide. And I think this one it's as important as all the other ones. It might seem silly, but psychologically you're tricking yourself to realize, you know what, you have to be proud of yourself if you can do something every day without making an excuse, even when you don't want to do it, even though it's only 5 minutes. You have to give yourself a reward. I made some examples here. They don't have to be unhealthy, but you could have a treat like some cookies. You could have a beer or a glass of wine if that's your thing. If you live near a beach, you could go to the beach. You could go outside, take a walk, watch your favorite TV show. Whatever you need to do. If it's a healthy reward, even better. But just something that you can look forward to, something that you're happy about, that reminds you like, hey, this is an important thing. This is what I should be doing. And sort of, you get a reward for it. So that helps to reinforce doing it every day without making an excuse. You're sort of teaching your animal brain not to try to trick you. And so you're tricking it instead. So those are the tips. Hope you like the video. If you do like it, please click like, subscribe if you haven't. We're going to be back very soon with more videos, so let us know what you think. And also write in the comments, and I'll try to go through them and correct. Tell me what you learned today. So if you didn't get anything specifically that you can clearly write down in the video, make sure you learned something, put it in there too. And I'll comment on that, and make sure you put it in your notebook too, and do it every day, and then come back and let us know how that went. So be another video coming out very soon. Hope you enjoyed. Talk to you soon.